Hello friends, today I want to talk to you guys about the starting Demon Hunter build. Fresh Demon Hunter, brand new 70, just yellows. Well, okay, 2 sets because the first Haedrig's gift is incredibly easy to get. You don't even have to go into Torment to get it. So mostly yellows and two greens. 2 sets. So let's talk about this guy. Now if you want to play Demon Hunter this season, whew, man, you have a rough start, I have to admit. The starting set Natalia's it's not that strong. The 2-piece basically just makes it so you can use Rain of Vengeance more often. Rain of Vengeance isn't like an overpowered skill or anything. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. And then the 4-piece makes it so it does more damage, which is good because you can use it more often. I think the best thing you can do, and we'll talk about this more in a moment, is reroll gear to have as much cooldown reduction so you can constantly be using Rain of Vengeance. It's going to be hard to get a lot. I have a very minimal amount. I wanted to use just a tiny bit of cooldown reduction and see how we could do it. And you will be able to clear a GR20 with this build. It's going to be right down to the wire, though. Almost all of my clears were, you know, in that last minute or so of the rift. So it's not fun. It's not fun. Let's talk about the build first. So I'm using a Vacifier Focus. I found that this seems to... It's nice because it does do a little bit of damage here. It hits everything and it gives you 7 hatred back. Then we need some kind of hatred spender. And I really like multi-shot wind chill because it chills everything that it hits. It makes it so they have to be critically hit more often. And it activates Call of the Weak. That's good. That's good for us. That's really good. I like using Marked for Death because we want as much additional damage as possible. So this gives you 15%. Now you have a choice between, as far as I can see, that the 2 best would probably be Mortal Enemy. You generate more hatred when you hit them. Or Contagion. Both are good. Both yielded about the same results, so really it's up to you, whichever you think you like more. So we're using a companion, Bat Companion. The reason I wanted Bat is because I wanted to just generate more hatred per second as we can get. That's why we're using the Templar again with the hatred per second. Because you're basically limited by your hatred. That's the only thing that stops you from doing damage. You could try Wolf Companion, but honestly, I was really quite happy with this. And then it gives us more hatred as well on Activate, which is important. We're going to be using Preparation Punishment. Again, more hatred. Hatred is the only thing limiting you from doing tons of damage. Because every time you cast this, you lower the cooldown on this, and this does more damage than anything else you have. So we have Rain of Vengeance. There's 2 runes that I tried out. I liked Flying Strike because this does does a decent amount of damage, and it freezes stuff. And as long as the elite you're fighting doesn't have the Juggernaut passive, which you can kill. I do it, and I think I have a video clip of it. But, you know, it's harder. But this makes it so that if you can basically stun lock any elite, as long as you have Preparation and Bat Companion up, for the whole, from top to bottom at GR20. That's nice. You can also use Shade if you want to try the Lightning one. Now, in the build, or the run that I do using the Flying Strike rune, it would have been nice maybe to have Shade, because there's a huge amount of density, just tons and tons of monsters everywhere, and this would kill them a lot faster than this would. But you'll kill the Rift Guardian slower. I don't know. Literally, both yielded about the same results, so it kind of is just up to you, whatever you think you want to try out. For passive skills, I think Leech is 100% necessary. You absolutely need this, or you are going to die. Blood Vengeance, more hatred. Can't go wrong. So Archery is kind of nice. If you're using 2-hand crossbows, you get more hatred per second, which means that you can, you know, shoot your skills more often. That's pretty good. You could also change this out if you felt like you wanted to move a little faster for Hot Pursuit. That could be good. Maybe if you have another damage-dealing skill that you like more, that's absolutely okay. I was originally using Steady Aim, but I found that it was too hard to keep monsters away from me, so I got rid of that. And then Call of the Weak, because it's 20% more damage. That's fantastic, since we're using multi-shot wind chill. And yeah, so that's the build, more or less. Now let's talk about items. So in the helm slot, here's what I had to start with. You know, the things, remember that main stat is the best thing you can get on yellow items. You absolutely want to have Dexterity when you can get it. Vitality is good. Critical hit chance is good. This is across all items, by the way. Critical hit chance, cooldown reduction, critical hit damage, and all resists. Those are the types of stats you're looking for. So, Helm, Dex Vite, crit chance, shoulders, Dex, I got life percent, cooldown, Rain of Vengeance damage. Sounds alright. This is a really amazing necklace. Absolutely amazing. And don't forget, re-rolling yellow items is super duper cheap. It's like two crystals and 2 shard or essences. Yeah, or maybe it's 3. I'm not sure. And then the armor, same idea here. Maybe that would have, and you'll notice that most of my items here, they have a secondary resistance, which is actually bad for us because we would rather have all resists as opposed to, you know, specific resists. That's okay. Gloves, these are pretty nice gloves. You might be better re-rolling the critical hit damage or critical hit chance to get more cooldown reduction, so you can use Rain of Vengeance more often. However, the majority of the time using your cooldown reduction is going to be because you're casting multi-shot. So I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. Bracers, if you're using the cold skills, if you're using cold, Rain of Vengeance, because that's your main damage dealer, go with cold damage. If you want to try the lightning one, go with lightning damage. Belt, all defensive stuff. Pants, defensive. Again, that armor would be better for us all resists, but we have fire resist on the secondary, so we can't get all resists. My rings, they're pretty trashy. You know, damage range is not what you want. You'd be better off with crit chance, or critical hit damage, cooldown reduction, maybe even attack speed. Probably not attack speed, but cooldown, yeah, I said that. Vitality, even all resists. This ring, again, sort of trashy. Just want to show you guys that you can do this with even really, really bad yellows. Boots, defensive stuff. Again, all resist instead of armor would be way better. Weapons, the only thing that I would say is really important is make sure you have that open socket so you can stuff in an emerald into it. I also left one emerald in a ring because you will have a Bane of the Powerful by you do this. You have to do a T1 Rift anyways before you do GR20. So you're going to have a legendary gem in this slot. And so after you do the really easy stuff in the very beginning of the Haedrig's gift, you're going to get the helm and the gloves. You'll see my gloves, they rolled pretty decent actually. There's 3 useful stats, Dex, Vite, and critical hit chance. Armor sucks, but whatever. My helm's it's kind of good because it gives all resists, but I wish it had crit instead. So with this 2 pieces, now we can reduce the Rain of Vengeance cooldown when we hit them with a regenerating. That's good for us. You should be able to do T1 with this build just like this without too much of a problem. You're going to do more than enough damage to take down all of T1. So then when you get to, then you'll have your 4-piece. You should get the boots and the ring. I know the ring is ancient, but it's not a good ring, so I don't feel like it's you would have a much higher damage ring if Vitality wasn't there, and the attack speed doesn't actually help us that much. So don't feel like the item being ancient actually changes the build at all. You can see my DPS is still pretty low. So now that we have the 4-piece, we're going to do the GR20, and as you're going to see in the clears here, it's so down to the wire. We can clear trash pretty well. We can kill the elites fairly quickly. It's kind of slow with the lightning one, but with the ice one, it's pretty fast. But again, I don't pick up any pylons in the video. I should point that out. No pylons. I don't ever pick up the pylons. So the clears are going to be much easier for you. Still down to the wire. In the one with the ice damage, I do end up dying like 4 times or something silly, 4 or 5 times. So, you know, if you don't die as much here, it's going to be a lot easier. It wouldn't be quite down to the very last second like that. But, you know, what can you do? And so now that you've cleared the GR20, you're going to have your full set here. My damage actually went down, but, you know, that's because this doesn't have a socket in it, and I'm not going to re-roll it. So that's okay. So now we have this Natalia's set complete, which makes it so Rain of Vengeance now does way more damage, and this is fantastic. We actually do everything does way more damage, and we take less damage. So how's that build gonna look? So what we've changed here now, we're using Strafe. I just like Strafe. You get to spin in a circle. It looks pretty cool, and it does a decent amount of damage. You get to move it. You get to move quickly, so you don't ever have to stop, which is good. You want to be doing these rifts as quick as possible. This is on T6, by the way. You'll be doing this all on T6 now that you have the 6-piece. Then we're going to be using. We're getting rid of Marked for Death, or Marked for Death, and we're going to be putting on Volt Tumble, just more movement speed. And Rain of Vengeance is going to be Shade, just because it does enough damage where you'll kill stuff quick enough, and it helps with if there's lots of packs on the screen. For passives, we keep Archery, and then we just pop in Tactical Advantage. Again, this is a build where if you find absolutely nothing while trying to get your GR4 or GR20 clear, and the chances of that are impossible because you have to do at least one Greater Rift at T1, and the Greater Rift, the GR20 Greater Rift is going to be, you're going to get something. You're going to get something useful. I all but guarantee it, alright? And, you know, but so that's Demon Hunter's having a little rough this season. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's kind of sucks to start, but once you get the 6-piece, you'll be doing T6 just like everybody else in, you know, 5 to 7 minutes, depending on pylons and rift density, all that kind of jazz. Now, if you're a gambling man, you could. So let's say you got your 4-piece here, and you're like, okay, you have to upgrade a rare weapon anyways. Why don't we upgrade a dagger? Now, the reason we want to upgrade daggers, where are daggers? Here. We got a dagger here. You have one rare dagger. You don't have to craft it. Of course, you'll find one. You take this guy. You walk on over to our good friend Zoltan Cool. You pop it in the cube. We do upgrade rare item. You have to do this anyways for this seasonal journey. You put this in here. You transmute. It's sort of a bummer. It's Carly's point. This is not the best. It's okay. Basically, your build will revolve around Impale. I'm not going to talk about that because it's still RNG based, and I wanted to show you guys you can do it without anything else if you don't do anything at Zoltan Cool, if you don't upgrade any rares, anything like that. But if you can get this one, or you can get the God tier one, which would be, where is it? It's Lord Greenstone's Fan. This makes it so Fan of Knives does a ton of damage. You can just pop on Fan Knives and go blow stuff up. It makes it ridiculously easy. But again, that's only if you really want to gamble. Otherwise, you should be pretty good clearing T6. Or, I mean, you should be pretty good clearing the GR20. It's going to be rough. You're going to be, it's at this edge of your seat kind of thing. Your butt's going to be puckered up. But once it's done, you'll have your 6-piece and you'll be able to do T6 just like everyone else. All right, guys. Talk to you later.